junk on my head. Turn my music off for a minute. Okay, so I start out locked out because there's quite a bit of climbing the first half. So I've got my front and rear locked out, and then about halfway through I unlock my rear, or my front rather, and leave the rear locked for a little longer till I get to the main downhill section. So of course we're going up this and up home run. So we're going to stay to the left at this intersection. Okay, so now we're going to do a little climbing up beside trees, and there's like 5 or 6 of them that I counted last time I did my last lap up through here a few minutes ago, and every one of them basically the same approach. The root is thick but flat near the trunk of the tree, so you want to basically just hit it right next to the tree, so close that you almost have to watch out for your hand grip. Like I say, every one of these. I noticed it last time I timed this. So there's like 3 in a row, and then there's 2 or 3 more up there. Of course, this is intermingled with just a little bit of coasty, flowy stuff. Just enough for you to suck a breath or 2 in. There's kind of a spot down between the roots there, right next to the trunk. Okay, now we got a little flow. We want to pedal it and take advantage of it. Catch our breath a little bit. Morning. at a rock there. Of course, in the dark, you don't want to hit any of these rocks wrong and slit a sidewall. You want to make sure that you're not hitting the spot in the rocks that's going to catch a sidewall. So you want to ride light and smooth. There's a little climb here. This climb I stay to the right of. Get a little more traction. Another tree, more roots. It's amazing though, to me, most every tree, the roots are the most doable closer to the tree. They sort of fork out and weave and undulate in the trail. Okay, there's kind of the first big climb done. We'll have one more climbing section after the hub. So I've still got both ends of my suspension locked out, so I can get as much power down as possible. Lots of little sidewall cutters. If you see them, it's easy to ride around them, but you got to make sure you know where they're at. Just like that one. Flow. I'm going to unlock my front for a minute just so we get past the hub. Leave my back locked, which I think Tanner's going to be on a hardtail. So if he can, he'll probably want to lock his front fork for the climbs and then unlock it like for this section, and then of course for the downhill. I like to leave my rear locked through this because it's just climby enough that you gain some efficiency by leaving the rear locked, but you also gain some glide by unlocking the front. Just enough, not really downhill mountain biking, but of a downhill slope that it lets you get your breath, get ready for the next climb. And now you can really amp up that one because hopefully you've got your breath back. Gets you flying along this flat here. Then you want to lean your bike into these corners, carve them up, avoid the roots. That way you got a little speed going up this next one. And then down through the next set of corners. Now we got a little climb up to the hub. You can decide whether you want to lock your front or not. I probably will, because after the hub there's more climbing. You got a little downhill and then more climbing. But it's not as bad of a climb as climbing up home run. So I'm going to unlock my front again. And there's landmarks. So like these skinnies, I know I can keep my front unlocked. I'm going to stay on the trail down through all this. There's a rut off to our left here you don't want to hit. And carve the corner a little. Let her drift a little in the chat, but we may have to go a little slower if there are more leaves down, especially if they're wet leaves like today. The nice thing is though, the leaves tend to blow down in the bottoms and leave the sides of the berm clear. So as long as you stay on the berm, you're good. We're going to do some more climbing. Watch the ruts on the left. You don't want to get in that. Now I'm going to lock my front back out again, because this is a pretty good little climb. But then it turns back down into the woods. Stay to the right, up out of the leaves and washout. Just enough of a climb to make you breathe again. Okay, now I'm going to unlock my front, because it's going to turn back down. I'm going to keep my back locked until I get to the next set of skinnies though, which is right before the connector trail. Good little workout. Okay, a little bit of downhill flow. Stay to the right, out of that rut. Like I said, there's several washouts. You want to stay on the trail. careful today because of the wet leaves. Hoping some of the leaves are blown off or we blow them off that day. It'll make for a much faster, safer course. I may come out that day and help Mort get ready for this. Okay, another little climb. Stay to the right of the chunky stuff here. Okay, I think right up ahead is the last of the climbing. Yep. Okay, so now I'm gonna keep going, but there's not a great place for me to reach down and unlock my rear suspension down along here, so I'm just gonna leave it locked for right now, and then we'll come up on some skinnies. And the trail slows down there anyway, so I'll reach down and unlock it there. Here we go. So there's the first skinny, then a curve, there'll be another skinny, and I'll unlock my rear. Okay, so I'm unlocking the rear. If I can reach down and get it without crashing. Here we go. Alright, the rear unlocked. I didn't need to unlock it quite that soon, but it gets a little curvier through here. It's good to have a little soak. I'd forgotten about that first skinny, so I think there's 2 more skinnies coming up. So I think I unlocked my rear a little sooner this time than I usually do, but it's okay. Yeah, here we go. Along here, past both skinnies. Then there's going to be 2 right turns. First one's going to be coming up in just a second. It's going to be on the connector trail. Here we go. Hang a right, it is a little bermed. Good, right there. Now, we're into some downhill, so we're gonna get ready to shred a little. Now, this section is easiest on the left. It's smoother over here. There's less sidewall cutters, so you go through the middle here, down the left side, smooth and easy. And then we're going to come up on a tree root. We're going to stay high on it and go to the left of it, and then there's going to be a hard right onto the little connector spur, and then we're going to take a hard left on the scout trail. So here's the routes. I like to go through on the high side, turn out, turn in, right there, hard right. Come down here, take it wide, way up on the hill like everybody's been doing, down in, hard left, scout trail, here we go. Fly along this. Here we go. A nice little jump up here. And of course, I think you guys know Scout Trail flying down through it, but the berms only go about halfway. So you want to take the berm high at the start and then come down off it into the trail, because the berm's going to end. Don't know why they built it this way or why it's this way, but it is. End of berm, up high, end of berm. Watch out for the tree stump. They did take that tree down at least, which was good. Kids were probably running into it. Up high, end of berm. And down this, we're going to do Scout Trail, and then we're going to cut left into the river trail, which is the same one we did for the dirt crits along the river. Watch the ruts on our left. Stay out of the washouts. Morning. Hi, puppies.
Daisy, come here. No, Daisy. Come here. Hey.
Go on, pup. Go on. Get. Go on. Go on. Go home. Hey. Go. Go. Need to get a leash, sir. Over the teeter-totter. So hopefully there won't be any dogs out here that night. If there are dogs, try not to hit the dogs. Yeah, some carvies through the trees. I think we'll at least have this, have the leaves blown off this. But if it's wet at all, it does get slick down here. Some of these spots are just black dirt and they get slick as ice. Now I'm going to lock both my first suspension out again because it is climbing. All the rest of this, there's a couple little flow. You may want to unlock your front at times, but for the most part, it's climbing back to the start finish. We're going to go up through here, through the tree line. I'm not sure whether he's going to have us on the gravel part of this or not. He may have us do like the dirt crits, go in the grass there beside those trees. But either way, we'll be on trail starting here. Cut left on this, which is not terribly easy to do, and then ride back up this little jump line, this little beginner jump line. And this takes us back to the start finish. I think we're going to be camping right along there. I think they're going to have camping set up on the hillside and stuff there. So if possible, I'll try to get here early enough to kind of set us up a little camp, pull-in area, rest area here along this trail, this part of the trail. We can run and switch each other out and take turns like a relay. And I don't know how many of these is going to have us climb. The kids climbed all of them and then went along that fence line there, which I'm assuming is probably what we're going to do. Is probably go right along this fence line back to grab the trail. And if so, this grass is a little bit, sticky. And here we are, back at the beginning.